back at it with a live, kicking it. Introduce yourself, man.
What's up, guys? My name is Jameson Fuja. I am a huge Utah Jazz collector, and I'm honored to be on a show that I've been watching for years now, man. This is crazy.
Awesome, man. So please, let's get right into it. Show us some of your collectibles, man. I don't think people understand what you got.
Right, man. We'll start off with something light. Part of the reason why I like these kicks is because I think it's crazy to see like certain stuff that releases to the public and then what's different with pairs that the players actually get. So this one right here, this is a pair that released to the public for Dante Exum. And if you look on the side here, it'll actually say Exum just like that, right? But if we look at his game worn kind of player exclusive pair, you'll see that you've got the stars for Australia on the side. And then we've also got kind of the home pair here, which was a crazy sample. And then when you kind of look closer at the sneaker too, you'll see that the pair that he actually got versus the one that released to the public, there's, more padding, there's more innovations, things like that kind of let you know about the look and the feel, what the player was going for, which is kind of crazy.
That's awesome. So they added a little bit more.
Here, let me see if I lost you.
All right, show us what we got next. Oh, he's frozen. You there, buddy?
Wow.
His sneaker room is like my sneaker room. Bad service. He's frozen right now. Damn. Now he's black screened. Hey, Jameson, jump out and then come back in, bro. Refresh and come back in. All right, cool. Yeah, he's having some internet problems. This guy is a diehard Utah Jazz fan. So he has so many crazy collectibles. He's got literally like chairs, I'm pretty sure, like from the stadium and all types of wild stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing his collection. I'm hoping that he gets back on to figure out this internet service to get this right. But yeah, shout out to everyone tuning in live right now. I hope everyone's doing good. Jordan's in here. Mr. Jones is in here. Shout out to everyone that's chilling right now. As I was saying, he's got some crazy stuff. He's got, like craziness from the Utah Jazz. I have an image right here. That's check that out, man. He's got the autograph of the mailman. I mean, bananas right there. And then underneath John Stockton, as you can see, it looks like stadium chairs with the Utah Jazz. He's got, all types of things going on over here. So this is going to be an exciting stream once we get it cracking. It happens from time to time. Clint says, I missed the shock drop. Them fire red 4. Shake my head. Yeah. I feel you, bro. I really do. I can't believe I hit on those. We did a stream earlier today. I tried for the size 9. I wasn't able to get the size 9. And then we ended up going for a size 9.5. Okay, I think we're better here. All right. You good? Yeah.
Okay, we're back. We're good.
All right. Let's get to that next pair, bro.
I think so, man. It's this connection. Sorry, go for it. Yeah, man, for sure. So one of my favorite players is Darren Williams, the Hyperfuse 2010. We're good? Okay, 6. So the Hyperfuse 2010 was my favorite ball sneaker of all time. I remember there was a PE shoe came out for D. Will. It looked like this. It actually released at House of Hoops. You can see kind of the D8W on the side there. But I wanted this pair so bad. It had like a royal swoosh instead of the navy one. So tracking these down has been super crazy hard. We've got this pair in the black and navy. We've got this pair in the white, green, and the gold. You can see the D wheel on the side there, that D8W. He wore 13.5, so kind of crazy sizing there. We've got this pair right here, which is my personal favorite. You've got that jazz green, the yellow, the navy, obviously game worn and signed. We've got this pair right here, which is kind of crazy. It's the low top D8W on the side. This pair, man, was one that I tracked down for so long because as I was a kid growing up, I remember in the lunchroom they had the big old poster with D-Will that was like the Got Milk, and this was the pair that he was wearing in that whole ad campaign with Got Milk. You can see we've got the Darren Williams D8W logo right up there on the top, and then another crazy pair, man. This one's actually not game worn. This one. This was the set of, which was the comeback of Sweet Life and Cody. I think it was him and so that he could wear it on TV, which was kind of crazy. So I know people go crazy for these hyper dunks. There's a lot of hyper collectors out there. Super happy. And then, let's see, man. Where do we want to go? Do we want to go old? Do we want to go new?
Let's go old. Let's go old. Let's go old. I need to see the mailmans. Let's go, bro.
Okay, let's go old, man. Mailmans, let's see it. All right. So these are the Karl Malones, man. These were okay. So this is actually a fun story for all you guys out there. This is a story. Treat your wives right, man. Treat your wives right, because I was on Facebook Marketplace. This lady, she posts a picture. She says, husband cheated, highest offer, take some. And I messaged her and I said, $200. I got you right now. $200. So guys, treat your ladies. No, man. $200 game worn mailman. So you've got the 32 on the back. Karl Malone, it's a full pair. You got the other guy in the back right there. Super crazy. So yeah, man, it's so this is something I like talking about too. So all the shoes that I have here, I'm actually still I'm still a college student, man. So everything that I have here is all purchased from side hustle money. So what I mean by that is I see a lot of dudes out here who they're going broke trying to look rich with their collections and things like that. I'm a really big thrifter, and for every t-shirt that you buy for $1, $2, if you can turn that into 10, 12 bucks, you can't even get that kind of return in the stock market. So everything that I have here was either given to me by the player themselves or was purchased through kind of that side hustle money. Let's go something kind of a Nike classic that you will definitely not see anymore. So this is an Andrei Kirilenko pair. This is back when they wore these shocks. I still can't believe dudes weren't busting their ankles in these, man. This is so crazy that they were wearing stuff like this in games. But what makes the Kirilenko pairs crazy?
Shocks, you know, doing them amazing stuff.
Vince Carter was, man. Vince Carter was doing 360s through the legs in these, man. But what's crazy about these Kirilenko pairs is his nickname AK-47, and you actually see Nike with the AK-47 branding on here with the
Nike.
Right. You will never see this anymore on a pair of shoes. Ever. It's too politically correct. It's crazy. So this pair is super dope, the away. But the one that I really like is actually the home. This one's signed, game worn. And then if you check this out again, we've got the AK-47 emblem right there on the strap. Super crazy, man. Let's talk Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant doesn't play for the Jazz, but I've got a lot of players' shoes who they wore the Kevin Durant. So with collecting player exclusive shoes and like game worn shoes, you've got just random generic Nikes that the players wear. You've got Nike IDs, which means the player kind of created that on Nike ID. And then you've got PE shoes, which is like a one-off that Nike made for the player. And then you've got signature shoes. So if we look here, let's go to my man. Let's see. Let's actually do CJ Miles. This is throwing it back, man. This is a KD3. This is a lot of dudes' favorite hoop shoe. Yeah. Right. So he goes by Mas Fresco. So you got the Fresco on the side, the 34 on the side. I think Nike IDs are so fresh because I can just picture these NBA athletes sitting there on the computer just like me, you know, customizing these colors, thinking about the jersey schemes. So these are super crazy. Moving on to Gordon Hayward, we've actually got the KD6 right here again. I love when a shoe has like multiple colors of the home or the away. Yeah. And then if you look on here, you've got his kind of G Time 20. Remember that G Time because we're going to come back here. I have a crazy Hayward sneaker that we're going to talk about. So remember G Time.
Okay, G time.
And then he kind of continued it. G time, yep. He continued it with the KD9 Nike ID. This shoe is so underrated, man. Such a good hoop shoe. You've got the air bubble reminiscent of the, what is that, LeBron 10, I think, has a similar air unit.
Full-length zoom, yeah.
Right. Super crazy shoe. And then another, this is actually the shoe that Hayward wore when he was playing for Team USA. He didn't switch up his shoes a lot, man. He uses like 1 or 2 pairs a season. Probably not anymore now that he's signed with Anta. He probably gets a lot of kicks, but signed on the front there. But the crazy Hayward sneaker that I'm dying to show off, man, is actually this by Peak. So this is actually a look-see sample. There's no tags anywhere on it, nothing like that. But this is what they kind of brought to Gordon Hayward to try to get him to sign with Peak instead of with Nike in the long haul. We've got it signed right there. But on the back, if you can look at this, you've got the clock and then you've got the G time. But if you look right up here at the top, it's actually got the Rolex logo, which is super crazy, man. Super crazy. What? If y'all can see that at home. Yeah. The Rolex logo on there. Yeah. Right. So it's one of those things where, had this been his shoe, how are they going to release it? Super fun. I always love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's see, man. Let's go with my man Booze, man. Carlos Boozer. So this is kind of a cool story. So this is a pair of Carlos Boozers here. You can see the C Booze on the strap. I believe this is the Nike Air Force Operate, I believe is what these are called. So this is the home pair that he would wear with Utah. But one pair that I love even more is super rare, and he actually never wore it. So I believe there's 2 pairs of these. There's one in his size, and then I think one in like a sample size 9 or something like that. And you can see right here on the strap, we've got the, let's see, it's All-Star, Western All-Star 2005. So actually, excuse me, it's Eastern All-Star 2005. But if you know anything about the All-Star game, West is in red, East is in blue, the Utah Jazz are in the West, right? So what the heck is this doing? So at the time, he was actually playing for the Cavaliers, and he would have been an All-Star, but he gave that up essentially to come and play in Utah, which is why I love this shoe so much.
That's
right.
Crazy.
So he would have been an All-Star in the East, came over to Utah, wasn't good enough to be an All-Star in the crazy packed West. And yeah, so this shoe actually never got worn. I believe he got replaced by Ilgauskas in that All-Star series. Love this shoe. Means a lot to me. Never worn. Booze, I need you to sign it if you're watching. As if, right? Let's see. This is another really good one. This is, you never know, man. Right. This is another good one. This is an away pair. Again, you've got C Booze right up there on the top. It's a crazy sample. Let's see, man. Where should we go? This shoe means probably the most to me out of any pair in my collection, man. And this is a LeBron 10 that was actually game worn by Marvin Williams. So the story behind this, I used to, every year for Christmas, I'd want to go to 2 games, right? And there was usually at one point in the season a Friday night game and then a Saturday night game back to back. The trick for all you kids that are watching, if you want to get a player's shoes, go to some back-to-back games and don't ask for autographs. Just be super chill with the players, chop it up, roast them a little bit. Come on, man, when are you going to dunk again? Blah, 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 that kind of thing. So I remember Friday night, I was talking with Marvin Williams before the game. He was wearing LeBron 10s at the beginning of the season, and he had switched to the Hyper Dunks. I'm like, man, what are you doing? The LeBron's the better shoe. What are you doing? This and that. Giving him a hard time. And then the Saturday night game, the following night, I was talking to him, kind of chopping it up again. And I said, hey, man, can I get your shoes after the game tonight? And he goes, hey, man, I actually got something special for you. And so he runs back into the locker room, and time is just passing, man. Like, I'm the only kid down there trying to get autographs anymore. It's getting awkward between me and the security guard. Security guard looks at me. He's like, hey, man, you got to go. Like, go to your seat. And then here comes Marvin Williams sprinting back out to me, and he hands me these that he had worn, kind of the LeBron 10s he was wearing earlier in the season. And he signed them. And then if you look, here's some of the stuff that I love. So one says the Met. The other says Jatanis. Those are his little brothers that he kind of puts on every sneaker that he wears. Really, really cool.
That's amazing.
Let's go a little bit. Let's go newer, man. So this is actually a sneaker that my man Ricky Rubio actually wore. And this shoe has a ton of meaning. So this is actually a custom by Kickstradamus. We've got Ricky Rubio signed on the heel there. But if you guys don't know about this foundation, Fight for the Fight. This is a foundation who basically is all about cancer research. So if you guys watch any of the Jazz games, you'll see that emblem, Fight for the Fight. On their jerseys, you'll see all the guys with their hand up, Fight for the Fight, and they write the name of the person that they know who basically has cancer in their life. So this pair was made and was actually auctioned off for charity. I was fortunate enough to not get it at that auction because they went for crazy prices, but there was a second auction and I was actually able to get them there. You can see the breast, or not the breast cancer, the cancer ribbon up there on the top, the kind of home edition colorway spray painted there, which has really got a lot of meaning to me there. Because I've actually had family members pass from cancer. We've all kind of had experiences. So that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. Let's see, man, this pair, let's throw old school again. This is a pair of Antoine Carrs, a big dog, man. He was huge in the 98 finals. But the reason that I love this shoe is because it's the same thing that happens nowadays where you'll have one signature athlete, where he'll get the technology one year, and then the following year, all the other years will get it. So the year before in 97, you had Jordan wearing the Flu Game 12s. And this shoe right here is very, very reminiscent of a Jordan 12, in my opinion. You've got kind of that leather toe cap here. And it just kind of shows that Nike technology getting past.
So
past
what year
years.
is that shoe?
That's one question I get. This is 98. So this is 98. So if you see in 97 season, Jordan was wearing the Flu Game 12s, and then the next season he wore the 13s and then the 14s in that finals series in 98. Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's one thing I actually get a lot is do you wear Jordans, you know, being such a big Jazz fan. And I do. The only two Jordans that I will never own are the Flu Game 12s and the Last Shot 14s. Man, I can't do it. It hurts me too much. If
I was a fan like you, I wouldn't either.
Shoot, man.
Let me see.
Right. No kidding. Let's see, man. Let's go really Stockton, man. Let's do it.
Man. I need to see.
Check this out, man. This shoe is right, man. Right. Let's go old, man. These are crazy. So if anyone ever tries to find a pair of Hornacek shoes, good luck, man. They are insanely hard to find. This is one of the only pairs in my collection that wasn't actually worn for Utah. This is a pair that he wore when he was playing for the Suns, but that's all right because it's still that purple colorway, man. These are from 92. You've got that Hornacek right there on the toe cap. Super crazy shoe. Scottie Pippen actually wore this same shoe that year. This was a very, very big shoe at the time. You've got the Nike Flights up there at the top, heavily worn. This was back in the times where dudes would wear like maybe 2 shoes for an entire season, especially the humble dudes like Hornacek. So, right. So trying to find his shoes is insane because he's going to keep some. He wants to give some to his kids. Some just blew out because they wore them so much. So super, super happy to have these. Took me a really long time to find them. But then this is probably the grail of all grails in my collection. But let's talk history for a second because Stockton's a GOAT for a lot of reasons. But number one is he did what he did wearing a tennis sneaker. So all you guys out there who like the tech challenges, this is actually an Andrei Agassi tennis sneaker. And Nike kind of came to him, I believe, if I'm getting the story right, and was like, hey, man, like, what are you doing wearing a tennis sneaker? And Stockton's the type of hard-headed guy where he said, I like it. I like the way it fits. You know, if you aren't going to let me wear it, then I'll kind of bounce. You know, I'll wear something else. So this is a super sick pair, not only for the history, but this is the actual pair, one of them that Stockton wore in the 97 finals series. So insanely crazy hard to find. I know of, like, it's insane, man. Insane. Really crazy.
You know, if you can answer that, how did you get those?
I know. Go say that one more time.
How did you get those? If you could answer that.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. One more time, if you can hear.
How did you obtain those?
Right. So I won't. Right. I won't say the ball boy's name, but I have actually got some connections with some of the former ball boys. This was given to him, and just things happen, and people need money at times, and so he was gracious enough to sell them to me. And he actually really hooked it up with a really good price. because he knew it was going to a place that these will never get sold. These will never leave my hands. I know of one other pair that was worn during that series, so there's at least two. So anyone out there searching, you might be able to get your hands on one, but it's not going to be this pair. So super stoked to have these. But let's go really old for a second. Really old, man. These are a pair of Adrian.
Show the signature real quick, please.
Shoot. Didn't even show that. Yeah, signed by John Stockton right there on the toe.
Look at that, guys.
And let's compare with Hornacek right here. Super crazy, guys. Super crazy. So this is my flu game sneaker, man. You've got a lot of dudes who they covet getting a game worn Jordan sneaker. I grew up as a kid dreaming of the day when I would have these, and I made it happen. And the thing that's crazy too is I haven't spent a dime of money that's came from a paycheck for my job. And so anyone out there who's like, how do I get money to do this? How do I get money to buy sneakers? It's all about turning one into two, man. If you've got something that you don't like, someone else is going to find value in it. Sell that thing, man. Flip that. If you can turn one into two any way you can, you can make big things happen. So super cool. But going really old. These are from the 80s, man. This is a pair of Adrian Dantleys, which this is the real AD, man. We can talk Anthony Davis, but this is the real AD. For all the young guns out there, dude, this thing is absolutely crumbled. This New Balance used to be green, man. This is how old these were. This was green at one point.
That thing is roasted. You need to put that in a
right, man.
And open the door to show it.
Right, seriously, man. These things have definitely seen better days. But dude, Dantley, if I could compare him to any player nowadays, it would probably be Carmelo Anthony. He was never on the right team at the right time. Melo's making great things happen right now, but the Jazz traded him away to kind of build around Stockton, and then he ended up with Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons, and they were trying to run fast, and he's a big post player. But here's something cool, and this is what I love about sneakers, is the little insights that you find about the players. And I actually pulled these out for you guys. If we look at these insoles from these Adrian Dantleys, you'll see that on this one right here, there's this little bit of extra padding that they threw in that sole in comparison to the right sneaker here. So it's just a little things like that. And if we want to talk about like the GOAT conversation, I mean, this is just this little foam in comparison to like what we see today. This is a midsole from a Kobe. Got that zoom unit in the back, this massive cushioning. And it just makes you wonder, man, if these old school dudes had technology like we have today, where could they have gone? What would the limit have been? It's really crazy to think about. Super crazy.
Some people like say, basketball players can't play with those old type of shoes. That's why the sneakers look different. Look at what Michael Jordan was working with, man, compared to the technology now. And he won all the championships. Come on. It's not all about
no, it's absolutely crazy the type of stuff that they were playing with back in those days, man. No, not at all. It's not about the shoes. But yeah, bouncing back to these insoles. I mean, even back then, players had, that heel that needed a little extra support. They had kind of their needs that they needed to get taken care of. Another thing too, if you guys are out there looking for PEs, a lot of the stuff I acquired
Damn, his service is his service bad or is it just on my end? Let me know if you guys give me some feedback because he's frozen a little bit again. Is he frozen or no? I think he's frozen. Yeah, Jameson, you may have to come back in. You're frozen again, buddy. Damn, I hate that. Sometimes it sucks with the internet, Oh, this guy shoes up, showing a lot of amazing stuff, man. He's showing a lot of amazing stuff. Okay, he's trying to come back in. Let me boot him out there. Okay, I'm just going to boot you out there and then bring you back in. There we go. You hear me?
About that, man. Cool. Well, I can hear you, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Can you guys hear me at home?
Yeah. You just got to keep moving.
Cool.
We
so
keep
what I was saying when we left off was this is a pair of Mo Williams shoes.
Okay. Bam.
Right. Let's do it, man. So this pair right here, this is another pair of Hyper Dunks. Mo Williams. These are crazy. These were actually found for $30 on Poshmark, man. Some of these people just don't know what they have. This is a game worn sample. Mo Williams, photo matched. Let's see. Keep it going. Right. We've got a pair of Derek Favors. These Poshmark, man, crazy. These things are boats. These were given to me personally by Derek Favors. You see the D Fave on the tongue. Super chill guy, super humble. We need him back in Utah, man. He's actually playing for, I believe, the Pelicans now. But the whole time he's played for the Pelicans, if y'all can see me, these are super crazy. This is a pair of Hyper Dunks. These things are absolutely massive. You've got the Big L right there on the tongue. Really, really blessed to have these sneakers.
Hey, bro. There you go. There you go.
See, we've got some Adidas. We've got Alec Burks right here. Super cool game-worn shoe. Nice. And then for all you guys who were late to the party, let's kind of recap.
Yeah, please.
Karl Malone. You talking about those Kyrie battles are crazy.
Yeah. So what else you got?
Real quick, man. If we're talking more.
What's up with those chairs?
Right. So I'm not just a jazz player. Yeah, dude. So this right here was a project of love. Here, I'll pick this up for a second and show you guys. So these are actually original seats from the Delta Center. They originally wanted to kind of raffle them off to fans. They tried selling them for $100. Didn't end up happening. It was too hard. But they gave them to certain like lifelong season ticket holders. I ended up bribing some season ticket holders to let me buy them off of them. So I powder coated the seat, sandblasted, powder coated all this, refurbished the plastic. Like, this is what we're talking about, man. It's a disease what we got over here, man. This love for the Jazz is crazy.
Fan. You are a real fan. I love it. I love it.
Right. Let me hear the audio to the Bluetooth real quick. Here, can you hear me now a little better?
Yeah.
I think it kicked off the Bluetooth. Let's see. All right, man. We'll get rid of these. School. But here, right here, this one's actually super crazy. So this is actually a throwback bench chair that the players actually sat in sideline. So super, super crazy. I'm still picking it up now. The dude who had it before, he had some kids that wrote all over it with pen. We know how it gets with the kids, man. You gotta love them. But we're in the process of fixing that up.
I know.
Right. Got the whole team signed up there. That's the 97 squad. Having the whole team in one spot, that's really, really hard to find. I actually love that because if you look at it, close, it's got the creases. You can tell that this is something that some kid just folded up, stuck in his back pocket, brought to the game, and was just so stoked to meet him, get him signed. So that one for me, it's not the best quality piece, but something real cool. If we come back here, we've got an Al Jefferson game-worn jersey. Super, super chill dude. He actually hooked me up with that personally. Coming over here, we've got some game-worn wristbands. We've got Heartbring, CJ Miles, Boozer. And then down here, we've actually got the Mailman. These were worn in the 97 series as well. Really, really crazy. Super hard to find. Really, really yellowed over time. But those are insane.
But let's see. How many people we got watching right now, Delz?
Got about 25 right now.
25 here. We'll recap on some of the old ones for people who were just now popping in. Real quick, man, we got the Karl Malones right here. Mailman 32. This is Converse. If you ever want to talk about some old crazy technology, this heel, it says contains helium. Like you bouncing super high because these right. So it says contains helium on this side. Might want to do some research into that technology, but sounds a little gimmicky. Let's see. So we've got the Karl Malones. I don't know if we talked about these. These are super old too. This is Mark Eaton, one of the most underrated players of all time, man. Two-time defense.
Yeah, Mark Eaton.
Okay, right. These are crazy, man. One of the most underrated dudes of all time. Two-time depoy. Went undrafted, man. This is back when the NBA was simpler times, man. He just rolled up at the practice facility, started playing hoops, and they really built him up. If there's one thing that the Jazz are known for, it's kind of taking a nobody and turning him into somebody. If y'all know Rudy Gobert, kind of that love child of the Jazz, brought him up. Let's see, Donovan Mitchell kind of came from nowhere as well. It's really crazy to think that the Nuggets actually had the chance to draft both of them and ended up trading them back to the Jazz. So super, super cool. These are massive. These are a sample size 16 is what it says on the inside. So Karl Malone, Marvin. Then we've got the Antoine Carr, the big dogs. These he wore in the 98 final series. This is actually the pair that he wore. Again, we talked a little bit for anyone just popping in how these are super reminiscent, kind of the 12 leather, kind of have a look like the Jordan 11. And we were just talking about how that's kind of the athlete of the time and how those other players and kind of the generic shoes get that technology a little bit later, kind of reminiscent of the Air Bacon a little bit. Really, really cool sneaker. I don't even know what you can call it.
And then the back,
Yeah, really, really cool. Moving on, probably the second hardest shoe to find in my collection, the Jeff Hornaceks. These are absolutely insane to find. And the leather on these, man, like just absolutely crazy. It looks like it would be the stiffest leather in the world, but this is just buttery, buttery soft. Really, really crazy nice.
It's probably because it's real leather.
The Dantleys that we talked about.
I don't think they use real leather like they used to. Like
I'm sure they don't. Here's another pair that surprisingly actually has good leather too. This is a pair of Corvers. I don't think we talked about these. These are some Converse weapons. So we've got really, really old Converse, and then we've got some kind of old Converse. And then Converse is crushing it now with the basketball sneakers, man. Really, really coming back hard. I think it's Kelly Oubre who's really wearing those Converse heavily right now. You've got the KK logo on the back. This is why I love collecting samples and PEs, is just little hits like this, players' logos that they use for a time that don't really turn into anything. And then like personal hits. If you look on the tongue, you've got Proverbs, what is it? Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. My church leader is going to kill me for not knowing that, but I'll leave that up to you guys to read. But really, really cool. Corver is such a class guy, such a class act. Again, samples, not for resale. And then let's see, man, what else have we not talked about? We talked about a lot. One we kind of went through pretty quick is these Darren Williams Hyperfuse, man. This is a shout out to anyone who's going to be watching this or is watching now. If you have this shoe in any of the colors that I don't have, hit me up on IG. I need every single pair. You can see right here the D8W on the side. This shoe actually released to the public in a black pair with the green collar, green outsole, with a really light blue swoosh. This is game worn with the navy, as you can see, signed D Will on the inside. D Will is such a class dude. I actually hit him up to see if he would pop on the Zoom call. He was busy tonight, but maybe we can get him some other time.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Right
Plug
here. Right. Be super cool. I was talking to him. I was like, hey man, like it'd be super sick if you could tell us what your favorite shoe was, so maybe in the future. This pair is really great. I love when they have the multiple hits of the different colors for the Jazz. Again, signed in the same place. That D8W logo. This is my favorite logo of all time, any player. that guy right there. We've got the lows, gang, kind of the green and navy with the D8W on the back. Really, really hard to see. Moving on.
Is that the white and gold, or like an iridescent color? That other shoe you just showed.
It's like an iridescent navy, and I'm glad that you kind of mentioned the color on these, because the closest thing that I could compare it to is probably one of my favorite sneakers, which is the classic Iverson. So if you've seen that kind of pearl blue on the toe of the Iverson,
yeah,
you know what these look like in person.
It's like the invisibility Kobe's they put out, kind of like that.
Right. Similar to that. These are from '99. This is a personal. I really love these. But the reason that I fell in love with this D Will shoe, and this kind of sparked my love for Jazz shoes, is growing up a Jazz fan, it was impossible to find shoes to match your jerseys, right? Like they didn't come out in the greens, the blues, the yellows. Being a Bulls fan or a Heat fan, new pair of Jordans every week coming out in your color. So when Nike finally released this pair, I begged my parents if I could get them, and it didn't happen. Couldn't make it happen. Couldn't afford them or whatever. And I vowed that when I get older, I'm gonna own every pair. So we're on our way. There's a light blue pair I don't have. A few others that we're looking for. Same with these Hyper Dunks. That Hyperfuse I really, really love. For anyone just popping in, this is the pair that was worn on Sweet Life on Deck, kind of that spin-off of Sweet Life and Zach and Cody. They did an episode with Dwight Howard, and he wears this pair with the tape over the Nike swoosh. Again, that D8W on the back. If you have the black pair with the light blue and the navy, hit me up. I need it really, really bad. Let's see, man. I think we talked about quite a bit. Let's see. Right. We've got some Ronnie Brewers. This shoe was crazy, man. This is a Air Force. I didn't even know what it's called, man, but it looks reminiscent of an Air Force One. But then they threw that air bubble in the back. Super crazy. This one's actually kind of got a funny story. They were giving to me and another kid, and we both ended up with the same shoe. So I have two lefts, he has two rights. So if that kid from way back is watching this video, hit my DM so we can get the full pair. But really, really cool shoe. Ronnie Brewer's a great guy. I wish he could have played in Utah a little bit longer. But this is what I was talking about. So this is just a generic piece, nothing crazy. It's not a PE. It's not a Nike ID. So you've got generic shoes that kind of background players will wear. Then you've got stuff like this, which are Nike IDs. As you can see, he actually went online, customized this. It says Big Al. This is for Al Jefferson, which this is kind of the step up from that because the player took the time to make it. Then you've got stuff like this, like the Dante Exum, where they came out with a PE for that player. If the PE does really, really well, they'll come out with a version that releases to the public. Yeah. Which this is my hoop shoe. You can see we talked about it a little bit before. The standard Exum there versus the Exum with the Australia stars. And then we've got the home pair as well. And then if that player is really, really good, he'll get a signature sneaker, which, in Utah, we don't have a lot of guys with signature sneakers. It just doesn't happen a whole lot. Donovan Mitchell got his. That's super, super sick. Really glad for him. This could have been a signature sneaker for Gordon Hayward. Again, for anyone just tuning in, you've got the G Time with the Rolex on the back. If I can get that to kind of
that's crazy.
Rolex logo. Super crazy, man. Really, really insane. Then we've got, oh man, I totally forgot about these. Where'd it go? This is a pair for Randy Foy. If there's any Randy Foy fans out there, you've got Foy Boy on the back. That's kind of his nickname. Super dope. This is an incredible hoop sneaker, man. If you guys could feel how light these were for this size, out of everything in my collection, this is the lightest shoe.
What is that?
Absolutely crazy. This is a Hyper Enforcer, or excuse me, Hyper Disruptor. So, yep, Hyper Disruptors. The biggest one I'm looking for, man, super sleeper player, is Jeremy Evans. He wore a pair of Hyper Disruptors in the dunk contest that he won. Really looking for that pair. If you've got it, hit me up. We gotta make something happen. Let's see, man. Keeping it moving.
That's right. That thumbs up. Share this video on Facebook, Twitter. You ain't seeing nothing like this anywhere else.
Right. Just kind of, so this is stuff that I wear, man. I always have to find stuff in jazz colors. So this is the Nike Air big windows, man, right here, that purple. Gotta love it. This is what a lot of my collection is, man. My personal stuff. It's going to be a lot of blues, a lot of purples, a lot of generic stuff. But again, we do have Jordans. The only ones you won't see me wearing are those flu game 12s and the last shot 14s. That's
never, right?
That's all I won't wear, man. But that is kind of a rundown, man. I've got some more generic players in the back, but they won't really mean anything to anyone else besides kind of me personal. But did anyone have any questions? Do you have any questions for me about acquiring them, anything like that, man?
Yeah. So, would you say most of them were acquired from Ball Boys or just the internet, just doing research, seeing what people are selling on the internet?
Right. I would. So I would say probably a fourth, well, probably a fifth were given to me personally by the players, and that's always really cool. And then again, after that, it's just been searching, finding Ball Boys. Usually a tactic that I use is I'll find someone who's selling some game-worn stuff on eBay that's not necessarily some stuff that I want, and I'll say, hey, do you have anything else? And they're kind of just like, yeah, not for sale. And I'm just like, everything's for sale. What do you have, right?
Exactly.
And then we kind of just right. Yeah. So that's the thing is, even if you don't see it, those are usually the guys that have the stuff that you want because you know that they've got it. I'm trying to think what are some other stuff like Marvin Williams, such a class guy. I actually wrote him a letter as a young kid. I was probably 11 at the time when he gave me those shoes, just, thanking him, and he wrote me back and he sent me some more sneakers too. So this is really cool. He sent me these a lot later on. Really cool. But again, yeah, a lot of the rest of the stuff I have is just kind of just random older players. But yeah, there's a lot of people who just genuinely don't know what they have. Again, these Mo Williams Hyper Dunks, $30, man, for some game worn samples, photo matched to the actual game. So if you guys have favorite players, find out what these things are that they have on the tongue, because the people listing them, they're going to write Mo Gotti Nike, and that's how it's going to be listed. And they don't know what it is. They just know it's a super beat sneaker, and they're going to be happy to get $30 for it. Because keep in mind, a lot of these players, when they finish wearing a shoe, I mean, they might give them to someone at the game, but a lot of times they donate them to charity, or they'll drop them off at DI or Goodwill to help the community out where they're playing. And then they fall in the hands of someone who's, going to go open them, which is great. But later on, they kind of go through the circuit, and you might be able to find some grails for really, really cheap. Again, we had the away pair, and then we've got the home pair right here as well with that Mo Gotti on the tongue. Such a dope player. Really, really love it. But yeah, what else, man? You got anything else for me? Any other questions?
Guys, if you have any questions, now's the time to leave it. I like those AK-47 ones. Those were crazy.
yeah, man. Let's check it out. So this will be the only time you will ever see something this controversial on a Nike sneaker. So for anyone who doesn't know Andrei Kirilenko, so the name's Andrei Kirilenko, and he wore number 47. So naturally, the nickname was AK-47, and he one of the most underrated players ever, man. I feel like I keep saying that, but these players that play for the Jazz, they go so under the radar. But he absolute baller with stuff that he did. Crazy. AK-47. Again, this was a sample pair. This one is not game worn. This one's dead stock. But this pair I found for similar to that $30 price. Nike AK-47. No, someone again just not knowing what they have. Super cheap. But this pair is game worn. The white, again, the Nike Shocks. Kirilenko. What's really cool about Kirilenko is he's got a couple different signatures. He's got, in English, but then he also signs in Russian too. And so he kind of does a mix. Right, yeah, because he's a Russian player. So he's got a couple different signatures that are really, really cool to see. But again, you've got that AK-47 right there on the strap. Such a baller, man. What a move by Nike, slapping that on the shoe. Absolutely crazy.
So where did you obtain those? The ones autographed?
Yeah, if there's anything I haven't shown.
Where did you get those?
What's what?
Where did you get those shoes?
Which one? The Kirilenko?
Yeah.
These ones right here? Yeah, so these ones I actually bought, I believe, in a bulk deal online. And that's usually the best way to do it, is because when you buy in bulk, you know that a lot of the people with these shoes, they know that they're going to have to hold on to them for a long time in order to find, the right buyer, or someone who's got the interest in someone who's not, LeBron or Michael Jordan. So a lot of times, if you can throw them kind of a somewhat outlandish number and say, hey, I'll just take all of them off your hands, you end up saving a lot if you were to go and, buy it now on all of those sneakers. So these ones are really cool. I believe that these ones right here were bought off Depop. So man, every day I'm on Grails, I'm on Depop, I'm on, Mercari, everything. And if you love your team, just memorize and know these little things that they use, whether it's, AK-47, whether it's, Mo Gotti, whether it's D8W. Because like I was saying, these make their way into the hands of people who just don't know what they have. And if you're able to kind of find those key phrases, you can get some super steals without kind of breaking the bank. So yeah, man, if I had to say my favorite pair in the whole collection, it's got to be the Stocktons, but followed shortly after, would be these Marvin Williams, because they kind of got me started on it all. Again, Demet, Jayton, Marvin Williams, such a class guy. But one more time for anybody who wanted to see the Grail of Grails. Sorry, we got the sun coming in, trying to get a good shot here. Stockton on the toe cap. Andrei Agassi sneakers. Absolutely crazy.
Well, yo, I appreciate your time, man. You showed me some great shit, man. I really appreciate
For
you.
sure, man.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate you, man. Just know I've been a fan of Delz TV, DJ Delz for a long time. I remember being a young kid. I commented on one of your posts and you liked it, dude. That changed the game for me. So a lot of this, I got to give credit to you, because if I wasn't watching videos, back in the day when I couldn't afford shoes, trying to find out what the ones were, 2s, 3s, this probably wouldn't happen. So bless up to you. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you, letting me on the show. But just know there's a lot of guys like me that you've influenced and now have crazy collections. So thank you.
And I want to see each and every one of you. So please hit me up on my social media, and you can come through, man. I love this. I love to just sit back and see all the amazing people from all over the world with amazing collections, craziness in the background, chairs, and man, I love it. So
the whole nine, and if any of you guys want to chop it up, it's Jameson Fuja on IG.
I have it in the description, by the way.
Perfect. Yeah, if you guys want to chat sneakers, if you guys have anything that you think I'd like, let's make a deal, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the time, man.
All right, brother. You have a good night, man. All right, that was awesome. That was really awesome. I wish the internet wasn't that good in the beginning, but toward the end, it started getting nice with it. So, man, shout out to the dude, man. Wow, he has some great stuff, man. I hope you all enjoyed this stream. Thumbs it up, share this. If you know someone that's a Utah Jazz fan, you have got to share this video with them. Like, you have got to. If you don't, then you're not a good friend. You need to do so. I mean, he had basketball shoes that he showed that, these guys wore against Michael Jordan. Like, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But yeah, man, I hope you enjoyed this stream. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll probably stream up in the morning. We shall see. We're going to play it by ear. All right? Love y'all. Thumbs it up, share, and watch the stream from earlier. We out.